Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? AMZ Dawkins here with a second stimulus check update and what's going on with the second stimulus package and other words of the first stimulus check and other people receiving their stimulus check. Now, I know you probably heard by now that we have four major players. We have Pelosi, we have Schumer, we have Meadows, Chief of Staff of the White House, and Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, coming together now, and what they have been discussing was trying to come together with a deal for the second stimulus package. Now, over the week, they was kind of working on some agreement. They was coming together on a deal for, of course, $1,200 stimulus check EIP payment for each person, as well as each dependent. The agreement they had was extending the FPUC, the $600 weekly bonus from the federal government for unemployment. They was trying to also extend that, and kind of no agreement on that. It was going between the $400 and the $600 that was proposed in the HEROES Act, as well as working out things for insurance. We're also working out things for liability insurance, where people or establishment won't get sued because people attracted the virus being around them or being in an establishment. So kind of that was also put in place. So there's kind of getting an agreement going on, but the only thing that was kind of holding back was some setback was in terms of money for the postal office. Like they wanted to put like $25 billion. The Democrats wanted to put like $25 billion to the post office. Other things that was kind of holding up was money for state and local government. The Republicans didn't want to give more money to the state and local government because they said the state and local government still had money from the previous stimulus package from the CARES Act, and a lot of those money wasn't allocated to the right places that it was supposed to go. So it was kind of going back and forth, back and forth. At the time, it seemed like they was gonna have agreement. They was gonna have a deal. A lot of them, most of them, was talking about there was a deal getting closer, but then all of a sudden, it's like just the whole thing just like exploded. I heard like in the conference and some of the meetings, chairs was getting kicked and tables was getting kicked, but not exactly sure because I wasn't there. But that was kind of word that was going around that all of a sudden, I guess, I think either Meadows or Mnuchin, one of those from the White House wasn't agreeing with Pelosi, because Pelosi don't really want to budge on the 600 until January of 2021. And that's the unemployment, the FPUC, because there are studies that showing that, hey, if the $600 stop, it's going to be problems. It's going to be problems for the economy. It's going to be problems for people can afford their rent. People won't be able to afford their mortgage. It'll be problem in terms of the economy and GDP. Like they were saying, even if they move the FPUC, the unemployment bonus, to $400 weekly, it will make a difference, but it still won't make a difference as the $600 monthly, as the $600 weekly bonus, because the $400 I think probably would be like a 1.5 difference or something like that in terms of if they lower it to the $400. Because they saying a lot of people, as soon as they get this money, the money's going back into the economy. They're spending the money on bills, on groceries, on rent, mortgage, different things like that. So really and truly, Pelosi don't want to just stop and say, no, we don't want the 600, we want the 400, because a lot of people is dependent on the 600. Now, what's going on, since there's no agreement, President Trump is saying that he's going to use a presidential executive order to initiate the stimulus package to go out. Now, he can't do everything that's in the stimulus package, but what he wants to do is geared towards, definitely a stimulus check, a EIP stimulus check to each person. He didn't say exact the amount, but probably agreement is the $1,200 that they was agreeing before, the $1,200 plus $1,200 for each dependent. He also wants to do an expansion of the eviction moratorium. So these landlords won't be able to evict people, because remember, that is also up. Well, it was up this month right here, and in August it was up. So what he's trying to do is also do a presidential executive order to expand that all the way until about December or January as well. In addition, he wants to do a payroll tax cut. Remember, President Trump was always fighting for the payroll tax cut. Say, hey, if we do a payroll tax cut, it'll put more money into the people's pocket right now. But at that time, it was just for people who was working. So people who weren't working, or people on SSI and SSDI, or people who are getting Social Security, they won't put into this place because they weren't working. So doing a payroll tax cut wouldn't be helping everybody. It would just be helping the few that were working at the time. In addition to that, he also wants to he also wants to address the student loan, and he wants to stop all federal student loan and all payments on federal student loan to be stopped, including the interest and everything, until further notice. So in a way, the president is not playing, but he's kind of waiting until the last minute, and many people are saying, well, he's just doing this because of election season. He's not even thinking about his other Republican members. They are also up for election and things like that. So he's saying that, hey, if you don't reach if you don't reach something by this weekend, he says he's going to execute these presidential orders. And some saying that the Democrats might fight it, they might take it to court, which is going to prolong everything again. And it just needs to go back to that HEROES Act and try to negotiate with the HEROES Act, take what they need to take out and put what they need to put in. Right now, the majority of the House of Representatives leader Pelosi is saying that, hey, she's willing to go from the $3 trillion that was proposed in the HEROES Act and meet them halfway at $2 trillion, because the Republicans were saying, okay, we don't want to do more than $1 trillion, maybe $1.1 trillion. So now Pelosi is saying, hey, we're willing to come down if you're willing to come up. So hopefully they can meet at a middle ground before the president decides to initiate these presidential orders, because like I said, the presidential order, it would do payroll tax cuts for people. So you probably put a little bit of money in people's pocket, but it won't help those who are not working or who are on SSI, as well as it won't go into effect right away. Like, so we won't see like a large amount of money, like $600 weekly, you know. Other things that's going on in the news is, of course, the virus is still on a slow increase in some states, in some areas. So they're trying to work on that as well. So some of the money was going to be going towards like testing and tracing, that the money was trying to see in the HEROES Act. So what they're saying right now is basically the HEROES Act that was put by Senator Majority Leader McConnell is dead on arrival. That one is out the window. They're not even discussing it right now. He's not even in the discussion with the four major players right now. They just giving him briefing, like during like lunches and things like that, and probably when it's all figured out, then he probably get an update of it so he can bring it to the Senate. For stimulus check from the first stimulus package, the EIP stimulus check for SSI, SSDI, as well as SSA. You guys recently had a payout, so make sure you check your payment portal, as well as check your Direct Express card in your bank account to see if you recently had a $1,200 EIP Direct Express into your Direct Express card. Also, for those who don't have Direct Express card, also make sure you look out in the mail for either a check or for an EIP debit card. That could also be coming your way for those people who are on SSI, SSDI. There are words that they're trying to speed up the process for those who still haven't received it, just in case they send out, well, most likely they're going to send out a second stimulus check. So they're trying to speed up the process to get the EIP stimulus check to those who haven't received it yet. For those who are SSI, SSDI, SSA, those who are abroad on those benefits, they are saying, the website is saying that payments should start to come out by August 14th. So between August 14th and the 24th, for those who are abroad, who are on SSI, SSDI, any Social Security benefits, those payments will be paid out by August 14th through the 24th. So definitely look out for your direct deposit, look out for your Direct Express card. And if you don't have a United States bank account, they will be sending out your check or EIP debit card to the recent address that they have on file. In addition, those who put down dependents in the portal to get paid for dependents for the non-filer portal, those people who didn't receive their $500 for each dependent child, they will also be issuing out those checks, direct deposits to your account, or sending out checks by the 14th. So they said between the 12th and the 14th, they will be sending out direct deposit as well as checks for those who did not receive those $500 dependent for each child that you put on the non-filer portal back in May. I think it was like you had up until like May 15th or something like that to put those information in. If you put the information but still didn't receive it, they will be processing $500 checks to each of you. So definitely look out for that. And that's about it for right now for the update. When more stuff come out, I will follow up with you guys. I didn't do a videos for the last couple of days because they kept going back and forth with agreement. They had an agreement, but they couldn't go full forth because they couldn't really come to an agreement with the state and local government money, as well as money for the post office. So didn't really do a video, but I'll be doing some more follow-up videos, especially now that they're at the deadline and they're supposed to be going on recess this year, and they're supposed to be going on recess this week. But the Senate and the House of Representatives said they're going to postpone a recess until further notice so they can get all of this figured out before they take their recess. So once again, it's Andy Dawkins. Hope you got some value out of this. Please like, comment, and share, and also subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be doing some more follow-up videos, in addition to ways that we can create our own stimulus check, which is called DIY stimulus check. Do it yourself stimulus check. And we're working on different methods of how you can do it yourself. Reach out to me if you're interested. I'm also going to include some links in the bottom in the description. So once again, it's Andy Dawkins. Continue to be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.